Hey guys, let's see if I can get this to work here. Maybe not. Chat. Okay. All right. Hey, if you are in here, let me know, and I'll get started. I haven't used Restream in a while, so not sure if it is working. I see a couple people. Let's get this a little bit closer. All right, I see three people. Three people. Let's get started. Hello. Yeah, just do me a favor and let me know if the chat is working. If you can, just hit me in the chat. Okay, cool. There you go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to ZBrush Live. I am Mike Thompson, and I'm doing this solo today because Bradley is he's in Florida, and they're being hammered by a hurricane right now. So that's not good. But what I'm going to do here is start sharing my desktop. Oh, Stream Deck isn't working. All right, I'll do it here. Do it live. All right. So I have nothing on my screen. Tool load. Let's see if I can get He-Man open. And I'm working on Battle Cat also. So let's see if this is the right one. What is up? What is up? Yeah, so started working on this Battle Cat. And I also have my He-Man. This is going to fit in the scene. So let's open this up. Load tools. Yeah, I need Bradley. I don't even have music today, you guys. It's going to be kind of quiet. So apologize in advance for that. All right, He-Man's going to take a while opening. Let's move this out of the way. All right, cool. Got a few people here. All right, so if you were in the last stream, I think I worked on He-Man. If I didn't, I worked on him in our ZBrush Live. I'm sorry, in our Stylus League. It's been a long day. A long day. And it's quiet. And so when it's quiet, I can hear my voice. I don't particularly like hearing my voice. So there's that. I'm going to need you guys to be extra active in the chat. All right. Cut that off. Cut this off. Okay. All right. So we got the He-Man here, which I've been working on. And I'm working on Battle Cat now. So I have reference for him. Let's open up my PureRef. Let me know if the audio sounds good too. Let's see, ask later. Load recent. Open He-Man. All right, I'm gonna have to get some. I have on my bodybuilder ref, but I don't have my reference for He-Man here. Let's see. File, open. Yeah, bear with me. Oh man, you guys got to say something. This is terrible. I can't do 2 hours on silence. Clients. There you go. Audio's perfect. Okay, I'll take that. Thank you. He-Man reference. Here we go. He-Man. Your ref. Sorry, I'm looking at my other screen. There it is. All right, so I got my reference here. Drink a little bit of water. Welcome to the stream, everybody. To objects, how do I do that? Oh, I can show you that real quick. So let's say I want to work on a couple different angles. Let's say I'm working on, this paw over here, but I want to see this paw. What I would do is set up the angle like this, hold Shift S, and then just drag, and I can rotate it to whatever angle I want. So I could even have a couple of these. Let's say I want to look at it from the top, right? Or maybe like this. And then hit Shift S, drag it down, and now I can work on this one right here. So maybe for this one, I want to turn off my poly painting and just work this way. And the good thing about this is that if I want to update the lighting, it affects all of them at the same time. So just drag the lighting down. So that's pretty sweet. I've been doing this for a long time. The screenshots on the screen. All right, get a little rim light. There you go. Now I can work on this. So, and if you want to get rid of the images, you just hit Control T. Control T? No, sorry, Control N. And that clears them. So the way I did this guy, I think I went in and retopologized him using ZRemesher. ZRemesh. Yeah, so it's kind of low here, which is good. I sculpted him out of symmetry, and that wasn't fun at all. So what I ended up doing was I took the original from here, right? If I turn on BattleCat, he used to be back here, right? And I have the helmet. You see the eyes weren't even in there because I just wanted to see him through the helmet. If I turn on everything here. So this is the way I had it before. And if I turn off everything else, he looks kind of janky. So let's hide that, hide the base. He's kind of rough, right? So what I ended up doing, and he's out of symmetry, what I ended up doing was copying this whole thing, bringing it over here, chopping it into parts. So if I go to solo mode, like I got the body, I get the legs by themselves, and then I rotated it so his head was straight on. And then I was able to sculpt his head in symmetry, even with the body posed. And I was able to get the face kind of figured out. So I got a ways to go yet. It's still just okay. But I got some reference here to use. And so I plan to try to get it looking better. So that's it. That is it. This is terrible with no music. I really apologize. I do not like quiet at all. I also have some reference over here. Some Ecrochet stuff. Got some images. Here you go. This is a good one. This is a good one. Let's go with this one. It's looking a little bright. Turn that brightness down. Turn the intensity down. The way I've been doing this is pretty much the same way that I worked on the He-Man anatomy, and that is just a clay buildup with a low intensity, and then just doing a lot of hatching until I kind of get what I want. And when I need to get some, when I need to get some hard lines, what I'll do is I'll use the Geo brush from Pablo at ZResh Guides. It's the Geo Soft Forms. And turn on my lazy mouse, right? And now I can kind of get some clean lines here. And I'm thinking about using this for a statue. So I'm not going to really worry about the bottoms of his feet, the pads and stuff. Although I'll probably put them in there because, I mean, come on. Why not? That's the fun part. I made these nails for him just really roughly. I think what I'll do is just kind of pull off one and make a good one and then copy and paste it. So I can do that now. Let's see. I will duplicate this whole thing. Delete lower, delete hidden. Make this a polygroup. Wait, escape. So polygroup that. Actually, I don't want to polygroup that. I want to edge loop mask border. It'll be a little cleaner. This is a trick Daniel Bell taught me. So now what I can do is I can go to my smooth brush, but I don't want the regular smooth brush. I want smooth polygroups. So let's go to brush, smooth. Here it is. Smooth groups. All right. So now what I can do is if I smooth on either side of the group, it kind of straightens that line out for me. See how it's getting cleaner? It helps when it's not masked. Like that. Right, so something like that. This is really good for when you're doing like clothing for heroes or something like that. You can really separate out your stuff pretty easily. All right, so that's cool. I like that. I'm going to delete hidden. How do you get references on the screen? Oh, that is PureRef. So this is an open source application called, I'll type it in here. PureRef. And if you just go to pureref.com, you can download the software. It's open source, so you don't have to pay for it. If you really like it, you can give them some money. And then you just drag and drop images on here. So that's all I did. Like I Google searched tigers, and then I just dragged and dropped, and there they are. All right, so what I'm going to do now is close the holes here. Close holes. Take my, now because it closed holes with a different polygroup, right? I can mask the, actually, let's do this. I want to do this. I'm going to hide the back face there, and I'm going to edge loop this. So now I have a nice, neat edge loop around this whole border here. So now if I select and mask only the back, I can kind of pull this out and see how clean that is. I don't have to worry about like messing up my front part, which is all I really care about. This is all going to be hidden in the tiger itself. So now I have this. I can add a little bit of geo here. So let's go to ZModeler. Hover over one of these edges. Go to insert multiple edge loops, and then if I just click and drag, now I can, have some extra edge loops. Right? I want these to be one group, so I'll just hide all the other groups. Hit polygroup visible. And there we go, right? So now what I can do is I can, let's do this. I'm going to ZRemesh this whole thing. Yeah, ZRemesh. All right, so now my back has some geometry there. Now if I smooth it out, I can, oh, well, again, it's smoothing the polygroups, so I'm not going to get exactly what I want. So now I'll just hit brush, S for smooth, hold down shift and go to smooth. I'll just click on smooth here. Okay, now I have my smooth back, and I can just kind of soften out this back part. Like this. Yeah, no problem, Artza. No problem. All right. Get a sip of water while this is doing its thing. So it looked like it creased. It's creased this edge here, which I don't really want to crease. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm not going to be able to see this. I don't know why I'm sweating it so bad, but my ADHD won't let me not get rid of this. All right, let's do edge loop complete, uncrease. There you go. Now I can soften this out. Like that. All right, now let's see what a tiger's paw actually looks like. Let's see. All right, I'm going to Google it. Tiger claw. Go to images. All right, let's just drag this down here. I will go to size. I usually go to size large just so I can see it. And let's do this. Start to pull some reference. Wow, okay, yeah, so like a giant cat's claw, basically. That's not right. Delete. Every once in a while, Google doesn't want to give it to you. They don't want to give it to you. So I can just delete this. Let's just hit delete. I got a new keyboard. I don't know where delete is. I have, oh, there it is. Okay. All right, delete. Oh, this is nice for the bottom of the paw. Okay. Let's get this. And if you want to size these, you just grab a corner, size it up. If you want to flip them, I think it's control shift. No, rotate control shift, right? So I want to do that. And let's say I want to flip it horizontally. It is shift alt, I think. There you go. All right, so now I can do that. Bring them down here, size this up. Now, I'm going to show you a pro tip that probably, well, I'm not going to say probably. You might not know this. I didn't know this. But if you select your image, let's say you have a lot of stuff on here that you don't really want. If you select your image and hold down C and then drag a marquee, it crops it for you. Bet you glad you came in today. So the only thing about PureRef, though, you have to bear in mind is you can crop these all day long. It doesn't matter. It keeps the full resolution of your image, which means that these files can get huge, right? They can get really, really big, especially if you put a lot of images on here. So let's go back. I actually liked, okay, this is what I was looking for. This is the one I want. Yes, take that. All right. Again, don't want all that extra space around there. Let's just crop it. Hold down C, drag a marquee, done. All right, so now I have my claw. I like being able to, you know what? Hold on one second. See, this is a problem. Once I start looking at images, I'm like, I want the perfect image. So this is pretty good. I'll take this. I'll try to take this. No? All right, good. I got it. I'll take that. That's fantastic. I'll take that. Scale that up. And maybe I want one that's kind of posed like mine is. So let's just say tiger. Tiger paw, maybe. Yeah, this is good. That. All right. One more. This one. Okay. All right. Good enough. So there's my ref. Let's come over here. And now I can kind of see what this is supposed to look like. All right. So now let's do this. I'm just going to I'm going to clip curve this. Okay. Now, one thing I've been doing a lot lately is just using Dynamesh until I have something that's decent, and then I'll kind of ZRemesh. So let's go over here and do this. I don't really need groups for this. I'll just group the whole thing together. And let's Dynamesh and see what this looks like. I'll use polish because why not? Oh, that's heavier than I want it. Dynamesh. All right. Okay, that's cool. I'm going to use the move infinite. So if I hit BMI, nope, BMN, sorry. Now when I move, rather than just pulling up the side of the geo that's closest to me, it goes all the way through the geo. The move infinite is one of my favorite brushes, like if I'm being real. All right, so what I want to do with this thing, what probably makes sense, is to rotate it so that I can use symmetry. Let's see. All right, get it as close as possible. And you see it's lopsided here, so let's rotate a little bit. Maybe what I'll do is mirror. Oops. Wait a second. Let's center this. Yeah, probably makes sense to center this on the screen. So if I go to geometry and deformation, if I hit unify, this should place it in the center of the world for me. So let's go to geometry, position. There you go. It's all zeroed out there. So now if I hit X, I'm working on it in symmetry. What I want to do now, because I kind of like the right-hand side but not the left-hand side, I'll mirror it and then try to get as close to being straight up and down as possible. Let's see. Do I want to mirror? Yeah. Maybe like that. Oops. Turn off that and then hit mirror and weld. So it looks a little janky now, but that's okay. Let's just Dynamesh it. There you go. Now I can brush move infinite. Let's get it looking a little better. Okay. Oh. Make sure I'm using symmetry here. Maybe I'll flatten the back so I can easily kind of select that. All right. So now what I can do is I can ZRemesh this. So probably what I want to do is, and I know you're thinking like, it's a claw. Why are you spending so much time on this? I don't know. Why not? Why not? All right, so there's that. There's that. I'm going to grab these, make them a group. Now I got essentially 3 poly groups, and I can ZRemesh this. So let's do it. ZRemesh. Nice. All right. Works for me. If I want to project that detail back, I did a, I clicked on the timeline here, holding down, holding down control. Sorry. Mute for a second. Mute. All right, cool. So now let's kind of clean this up a little bit. And basically that is my claw. Okay, so now when I look at these claws, they usually have like a membrane around the base of them. So I can easily do that. Let's do this. I'm just gonna do something like this. Oops. Let's do, I want that to be a little wider, like that. Now I'll go to my extrude, or extract rather, extract, turn up the smooth. Let's turn down the thickness a little bit. Extract. All right, now I have some geo here, and I will say it's, I don't want double-sided actually, so let's do that. Let's get rid of double, make it a little bit thicker. Turn up the smoothness and extract. Well, not that much. Extract. Am I doing the wrong side? Ah, there you go. Perfect. All right. Split unmasked. Or actually, no, I don't have to. It's on its own. It's on its own layer. So now if I go and click on it, where'd it go? Did I accept? Oh, you know what? I didn't accept. Haha. You got to hit accept. Okay, there. That's what we want. All right. So now I am not mad at this. What I'll do is do what I did earlier, right? I'm going to do a edge, select the edge loop, which is what edge loop mask border, like that. Okay, I only want the blue part, but what I can do is select everything else. Oh, actually, no. I want this also. I'm going to group that, select inverse, and now I'm going to polish by features and polish by groups, like that. So now if I go back, it's pretty clean. So I can, oh man, there's a lot of questions here. Sheesh. Let's see. Did you feel over the years there is more diversity in arts on ArtStation before? Diversity? We talking about the artwork or the people? Character design concept. Mostly searching concept on ArtStation. There might be another. I don't know. I'm not sure. Give me a minute to think about that. Let's see. Mr. Thompson was good. NAB. No, I'm not an NAB. I didn't go. What is NAB? I live in New York. What am I missing? So that's where Ian is right now. It's a convention. I don't know what NAB stands for, if I'm being honest. Hey, from Vietnam, what's going on? What is up? Yeah, chat, help me out. Don't answer, it's a trap. Okay. Let's close holes here. Oops, nope. Delete hidden. Delete hidden, close holes. All right. And then now I can just ZRemesh this. So ZRemesh. Oh, that's heavy. Let's say ZRemesh, keep groups. half. Turn that down, turn that up. ZRemesh. Perfect. Okay. So what I want to do now is I want to make sure that this doesn't have creasing on it. So I'll go to geometry, crease, uncrease all. Okay. I'll look at it in dynamic. It looks like this now. All right. Let's do another ZRemesh. And maybe one more ZRemesh. All right. Good enough. And I think rather than having, that's fine, actually. All right. So now just going to smooth this out a bit. I'll do polish by features. Whoa, not that much. You know what? Let's get a little more geo. Polish by features. That. Let's make it. Come out here. Smooth it. And this is just going to be that, little membrane. Thing about ZBrush, a million different ways to do everything. So if you're thinking to yourself, why did Mike go such a long route to do such an unimportant piece? Again, I don't know. It's late and I've had a long, long business day. So there's that. Okay. And if you're also thinking, man, that's a big claw. It looks kind of big. Let's see why it's so large. Yeah, it's pretty big. All right. So what I want to do now that I like this, let's go back and grab the reference, bring it over here. Grab this guy here. Again, I'm going to do brush move in for infinite. Maybe do something like this. Oh, it's masked. I forgot. There you go. All right. That looks a little more dangerous. Nice. All right. There's that. Let's grab this guy. Make it smaller. Like that. All right. So now what I can do is go over to my foot here, and I can line this up with it. I think what I want to do here is just, I'm going to merge these two pieces onto one subtool. So what I'll do is I'll group the claw as one thing, I'll group this as one thing, and then I'll just merge down, right? So like that, it's fine. And then I will duplicate this. All right. That's because I have 4 different paws at 4 different angles, so I don't want to have to keep coming back to the same one of these. All right, so now I'll come over here, grab this, bring it down, scale it down. Come over here. Whoa, turn off symmetry. All right. I want to hide the body. It's in the way. Was that that's not the body? Hide the, let's hide everything that's not the foot. There you go. All right. Also like to use transparency at this point and scale it. Okay. It might be a little wide. Let's kind of bring it in a little bit like this. And maybe make it a little bit longer. All right, I want him to look real aggressive. Okay, so there is one. And now if I hold down Alt and, oh, wait a minute. sorry, hold down Control and drag it. It'll duplicate. Okay, let's make this a little larger. And I just want to get these roughly in the right area. So when they are, I can come back later and kind of correct, you know, like tweak them and stuff like that. But for now, I just want to get them in the kind of in the right area, facing the right angle. Maybe this one's a little larger. All right. And then one more. Like that. All right, turn off transparency. Like this. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to, let me check the chat. What's going on? Okay. So now what I can do is auto group. And when I do, it's going to make all of these individual pieces their own poly group. So let's now ungroup everything. And I use auto group all the time. So I have it on my dock here. I'll just hit auto group. There you go. Done. So now if I want to select one of these, I can just click on it. They're small, so let me get a drink of water. Wow, I sound like Eddie Haskell over here. Nobody knows who that is. That's an old reference. All right, so now what I can do is I actually can solo this out. Grab one of these. I like lasso. I'm gonna use lasso. Grab one of these. Turn off solo. Center up on it. Like so. Maybe this is also a little bit longer. Like that. Hey, Clementine. All right. Cool. So there's that. So now let's go back to the paw. Turn off poly paint. And what I want to do at this point is I want to get rid of all of the old kind of placeholder paws. So I think I have subdivisions on here. I'll step down. Don't I? Yeah, I do. Whoa, that's too much. All right, maybe here. Just smooth them out. This is soloed. Okay. Smooth it out. Okay. There you go. Now I can sculpt around it and get it looking good. So let's come over here. Play build up. And I just want to push in around it some. Turn up my intensity. All right. Okay. So now that I have this, it's just all about kind of making the paws look like actual paws again. And I'm thinking just because I can, I'm going to maybe do one of these the way I would do a hand, a human hand, and actually put a little bit of love into it. Might do the pads on the bottom. So what I'll do, right, is I don't really like to smooth per se. So what I'll do is I'll turn down my intensity low on my brush. Maybe not that low yet. The more I get to detail, the lower I'll turn down the intensity. And I just start to try to do the sculpting in the direction that the fur flow would go. So when I do start to detail this with, with like a fur alpha or a hair alpha or something like that, I won't have to do that much work, right? Like I already have the, most of the work done. One thing I did was I polygrouped the individual digits here. So if I were to mask that out, I don't have to worry about sculpting onto the other toes. And that's just, polygrouping. So if you're new to ZBrush, you're going to want to do that in order to control your sculpting. So the smart way to do this is to do one of these feet first and then duplicate the foot 4 times and not have to do each toe over and over again. So maybe what I'll do, even though I did ZRemesh this, is I will grab the hero foot and kind of copy and paste it onto the other legs that I already have. So like if I unhide everything, you see I have these. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just cut this one off and copy and paste it, at least on the front feet. The back ones look different, actually. I guess I could do the toes, though. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, if you guys have any questions about anything else, let me know. Let me know if anybody in here caught my last Stylus League stream on my YouTube. We got a lot of views, and Bradley and I actually both were sculpting on our iPads. So that was fun. We have another one coming up next week where we're going to be sculpting on iPad. I find that what I've been doing lately is after work, when I kind of want to spend time with my family, I'll get off the computer and then just transfer my file to the iPad and work on the couch. And I get a lot of stuff done, which is pretty nice. Man, you guys are quiet. Killing me. You got to help me out here. I need you to talk to me. Can't be alone. I don't have Bradley here. So I'm lonely. The nice thing about using the clay buildup brush is you kind of get that fur texture without even really having to, you know, go in and really texture it yet. It doesn't cost you anything just to do this. All right, so those claws are much better actually. Let's put the whole body on. And the eyes, like that. Right? Yeah. Let's turn some color on. Oh, you know what? Why don't I poly paint? You need some stripes. So let's do this now. I'm going to I'm going to color these claws first. All right. Probably fill this in too. I don't think they go back that far. That's better. All right. So let's grab these guys, solo them out, give them some color here. Color fill. Okay. And fill these. That's a little dark. Okay. That works. Let's do this though, solo. And they're a little light. I don't want them this light. Let's do this. Grab the color. Let's make them darker. That's better. Works for me. All right, where's Cringer? I got some pictures of him somewhere. So this guy started off looking like this. That was the original Battle Cat. And this is the original He-Man who didn't have a face forever, so I finally gave him a face. Turn that off. Turn this on. Finally gave him a face. Oh, I forgot. His sword is jacked up too. I got to do a sword. Remind me to do a sword. Face. And, yeah. All right. Why does this look this way? Solo. That's not right. I'm going to fill it with this material. Color fill. No? Color fill. There you go. That's better. All right. And his chest piece. So let's keep him here. Man, my voice is going. All right. Over here. All right. Let's give him some color. That's kind of fresh. I like that. Maybe what I'll do is look at a real tiger. There you go. Just use yellow stripes. I want them to pop off though, so maybe what I'll do is put down a dark color and then kind of fill them in the center with yellow. Maybe that's what I'll do. And the good thing about poly painting now is that I can still sculpt. It doesn't really matter. I'm not going to affect the paint. So that's good. Man, oh man. All right. Color on. And I like that these are not exactly symmetrical. It's kind of nice. Oh, this is good. All right, you guys not going to talk? I'm not going to talk. Nobody has anything to ask or any questions about anything, what I'm doing, none of that. This is crazy. This is crazy. You got to talk to me. Getting self-conscious. Self-conscious. You know what I'm talking about. Y'all making me conscious. All right, let's look at the top. Okay, let's come over here. The head is the most fun part. Hey, what's going on? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. All right. So you'll notice that now it is painting in symmetry because you remember the head is the only thing that really is symmetrical on here. Nothing else is. So This is good though, because this is kind of where it gets complicated. How did you do like one model that doesn't move on the right, and one that you can? Oh, okay. Yeah, I showed this earlier, but I'll show you again. So if you want to have something be on the screen and just be a reference, what you can do is, so there's two ways to do it, actually, right? There's a quick and dirty way, which is just to hit Shift S and then drag your model. And then there's a way where if you want to get a nice BPR render, let's do this. I'm going to clear the screen, right? I just hit Control N. Now let's bring this over here. Let's do a BPR. All right. So now we have some interesting shadows on here. It doesn't look as harsh as it did before. So let's say I like this. Or let's do something even better. Let's say I want the paw and the claws from different angles, and I don't want anything else. So I'm going to turn off this. Actually, let's do this. I'm thinking out loud. All right. I'm going to click on another one of these versions up here. See how I have V1 through V8? I'm going to click on V7. Okay. Now, it only has what I have selected now visible. So I'll turn on the eyeball for that, and I'll turn on the eyeball for the paws. And now I'll hide everything except for this paw, right? So if I want to bring it all back, I'll just go back to the number I was on before. And I have it hidden, but if I unhide, there it is. So it's a quick way to do this. So now, let's see. I want to show you guys something. Where is my super suit? Let's move this over here. All right, make this smaller. Instagram. All right, so you'll notice on my Instagram here, I have a lot of these images where I have turnarounds. And for this one, if we go through, this looks a lot better than what I was doing with the screenshot. It's because these are BPRs, but they're all on one page. So I'll show you how to do that. Let's get this off of here. All right, let's set up some good lighting. Light. Let's do something like this. Give it a nice kind of intense rim light there. Maybe do it from the bottom. Okay. So now in my render, I want to go to my BPR shadow. Okay. I always like to, let's do that again. BPR shadow. I always like to turn the rays up, right? Like 60 something. I'll turn the blur up to like 4. And I'll turn the angle up a little bit. And then what that means is I'm not going to get like a harsh fall off on the shadow. It's not like a super hard line. It should be soft. So now if I hit Shift R, I got my BPR render here. Now, let's say I like this and I want to do turnarounds for the rest of the paw. What I can do is I can go to Layer, which is like really, it's a legacy feature that not a whole lot of people even still use anymore, but I love it. So in layers, you see layer 1 has this render on it now. If I hit bake, now if I were to draw out a new subtool, then it wouldn't affect the one that's on here. But before I do that, what I need to do is I need to hit create, and that'll make a new layer. Right, so now I draw out another one, hit T, and now I can rotate around, like maybe I want to see this angle, this, and now I can render it. The other one disappears for now, but as soon as I hit bake, brings it back. right? So then I just keep doing this. Let's do another one. Create T. Let's do something like this. Maybe shrink it down, put it over here. Right. Now, I don't have to keep the same lighting setup as I had before. Let's say I want to do something different. So if I click and I turn off, let's turn off that rim light and let's move this on this side, right? Then let's say we want the rim light back, but maybe we want it over here on the top like that. So now what I can do is I can render this. And instead of it affecting everything on the screen, it only affects this particular layer. So I'll just bake it. And there you go. So now I have this beauty, like all these beauty passes all on one screen. So when I make a new layer, it's important to make new layers because if you don't, you're going to kind of mess up the one that you've just done. So I'll hit a new layer, create, draw it out, bring back my entire model. Let's do the, oh, sorry, I didn't hit T. Let's say Control T. Oh, in, let's do it again. Control T. I'm messing up. T. All right. Now I'll bring back the rest of my model. If I go back to layers under tool and I click on the V8, is it V8? Yeah, brings back everything, right? So maybe I want one of the entire battle cat, like, so I can make sure I know what the whole thing looks like, right? So let's do this. I'll put this one here. So this is for people who just come in and they're like, hey, what is Mike working on? So I'll render this. Okay. I will, I don't really like the light this way. Let's flip it back. Like this, maybe a little lower. Like that. And then grab this light and move this over here. All right, now I have some detail on that other side. Okay, maybe I want it brighter. I'll turn it up like that. Now I'll do a render. Layer, layer, bake, create, and now I can start to sculpt again, or paint rather. So I'll just do this, hit T, go back to just the, you know, the body like this, and now I can start to go back to painting again. So let's see, I don't know if that helped or not. What else I miss? Andre, I just got to the stream. Does it say my name is Andre? I'm Mike. Does it have the wrong name on here? Yeah, it sure does. Ha, that's not my name. Hold on, let me fix it. Let's see, sculpting by way of illustration. Mike Thompson. Wow, it has, oh man, it's got the wrong Instagram and everything. Okay. Mike T Artworks. Update. Okay. Is that my right name now? Let me know. No, it's not your fault. I haven't used Streamlabs Restream in a long time. Let's see. Wanted to ask about texturing process. Do you only use ZBrush or do you export to SP or Mari? Yeah, so I just did, let's move this out of the way. I got too much stuff here. All right, so let's go over here. Yeah, so my ArtStation is Mike T Artworks, but I just did this thing not that long ago. This Alan from Invincible. And this was all done with Substance Painter, and rendered in Blender. So, yeah. I use Substance Painter also. And, yeah, it's pretty dope. Pretty cool, I think. Look at that, all those lights and everything. I didn't even use Photoshop for that. So, yeah. What else did I miss? I don't understand English. Yeah, I don't know. I only speak English. Sorry. Let's see. Can't group mask, complete mask with Control W. I don't know how to fix this. Can't group mask. You know, when ZBrush starts to act funny, you might want to reinitialize. So if you go over to, move this back over here. If you go over to Preferences and init ZBrush, that will reinitialize everything, and that might fix your problem. So yeah, that should be good. How's the class going? Class is going great. So what Manuel is asking about, I have a I just started last weekend a class with the Stylist League where I'm going over that whole process I just showed you of creating a heroic character and then making UVs and texturing in Substance Painter and rendering it out with cycles. So no, it's going great. We have I think we have like 61 students, so not too bad. Not too bad. Well, I don't know what happened, but now I have pressure sensitivity. I like that. Didn't have that before. All right, so I'm running into issues now where I need to turn off symmetry, because what's happening is I'm getting close enough to the head that it's kind of clipping into the body that's posed and painting where I don't want it to paint. All right, let's see what else I missed. I don't know if you answered before because a commercial came on. NAB New York. I would just Google it. I don't know what it stands for. It's some convention for creatives, I guess. If Maxon is there, I'm sure it has something to do with software or something. Let's see. Fix, that's amazing. Can you suggest if any sites to download basic skin texture brushes for free? You could look on ArtStation in their store. You might, I don't know if it's gonna be free, but it might be really cheap. And then there used to be a guy named Bad King. I don't know. Let's see if he's still around. Bad King used to have a whole bunch of really good free stuff. Let's see. Bad King. ZBrush. Ah, Bad King is gone. Yeah. Sorry. Oh, wait. Is there something on ZBrush Central? Let's see. No. This is the guy that used to post up all the... He would get people to like give brushes, alphas, all kinds of stuff. It was awesome. I would just do a search for like free skin texture brushes, ZBrush, and see what happens. But yeah. Like I said, you know, they're not exactly free, but you can get some really good bargains on you know, like sales and stuff on Art Station and Gumroad. Like they have that stuff a lot. So now as I look at this, you can see that some of these areas, you know, they don't really taper the way I'd like. So if I hold down the space bar and then just drag my mouse, it'll select the color that I want. So now I can grab this green and kind of fix these parts that are soft, or, you know, fix areas that I don't like. Let's say down here, I want that white color. I can clean this up some. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's an easy way to select your colors. Like that. Okay. Let's get the rest of this head. I don't want this to be completely symmetrical, so I'm just going to keep the symmetry off here. And frankly, it wouldn't matter anyway because I have the body twisted and I didn't use posable symmetry. If you use posable symmetry, you can continue to kind of sculpt and paint in symmetry even when it's broken, when the symmetry is broken. So this is going to look really nice when I have all this painting done, and then I start to sculpt in like the fur details. All right. And I know what you're saying to yourself. Cringer does not have black stripes. What are you doing? I keep calling him Cringer. Battlecat does not have black stripes. So what I want to do is I really want those yellow stripes to pop. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to paint the black first, and then I'm going to paint the yellow in the center, I think. That's the plan anyway. So now I've grabbed his legs and I'm just continuing that paint. I see it doesn't connect here, so now I can grab this part and try to make it feel coherent. If you're wondering how I'm selecting one subtool without kind of doing anything on the interface, I'm just holding down the Alt button and clicking, and then I can grab the tool. All right, let's see. Hey man, I'm learning just by watching. That's all that matters. You know what? That makes my day. I just want you to sit back and relax and watch what I'm doing and learn stuff. Thanks for that. All right, all right. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. He's getting there. Let's get some color on the face because right now he's looking real sketchy. Oh, do I have these facing the wrong way? Kinda. Yeah. Let's erase these. Thanks, Fred. Oh, there you go. Someone, wait a minute. Restream free basic skin, noise filters is base. Alpha, nice. Okay. Hey, Mari Cat. All right. Okay, now it's gonna get good. Let's paint around the eye because his eye is looking real lonely without any color around it. Let's get some color around here, crying out loud. Okay. It's amazing what the poly paint will do for you. Like if I turn off the color for this guy, he just like gets kind of boring. Look at that color. All right, let's go back over here. What do I want? There you go. That's what I'm looking for. Oops. Black. Yeah, the more I look at this, the more I'm like, there's a pattern to these stripes. It's not just random. I thought it was. It's not. Come on now. I don't like that. All right. I'm not going to sweat it too hard. Let's see what the yellow looks like in here. All right. So kind of like this. What I want to do now, let's get rid of all this other stuff. Oh, now let's say you're like, all right, I don't need all this stuff on my screen anymore. How do you get rid of this? What we can do is we can go over to, you can't just hit, what was it? Shift S, not Shift S. Let's see if we're going to copy this. Shift S makes a copy, and then Control N deletes it. But you see how Control N doesn't clear all these other images? It's because they're layers. So if we go back to the layer at the top, and this is real important, there's a layer over here, layers with a S, that allows you to do a whole bunch of sculpting goodness, right? Like you can put pores on one layer, you can make a new layer, you can put in like really fine high frequency lines on here in this area. But this isn't the right area that we want to be in. This is layers with a S. We want to go to layer at the top without the S. And again, legacy feature that nobody talks about it anymore. Barely anybody uses it anymore. I still use it. I'm an old guy. I like it. All right. So now I'm clicking on layer 5. I'm going to go merge. It's going to say it's not undoable. I like that. I'm going to say yes. Now, if I say yes down here, it'll merge it, but then it closes out that window and I have to go do click, move, click, move, click, move. I don't like doing that. So I'm gonna click on layer. I'm gonna go merge and just hit enter. Merge, enter, merge, enter. Now, all of these images are on one layer now. So what does that mean? It means that what I can do is I can go back to layers and I can hit clear and it deletes everything. So now I have an empty layer. So if I draw out my tiger and hit T, back in the game. Okay, so that's how you do that. Trying to search brushes, no problem, no problem. Do I have a custom brush for the fur? So I don't have a custom brush for fur, but what I do, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Sideshow showed this collaboration I did with them for Bishop. If anybody's in here that's like a old, you know, fan of my streams from back in the day and used to come in when I was doing Maxon or Pixelogic at the time streams, I worked on Bishop a long time ago. And it's one of those things that I kind of got 90% of the way done, put it down, never picked it back up again. But Sideshow saw it. They were talking to Marvel and needed a Bishop, and they decided to use mine. So let me open it up, and I'll show you some of the detailing, like high frequency detailing, which is pretty cool. I can show you this because they shared it already. So let's go to this and final for Sideshow. Is this the one? This is the one right there. Okay, open. Pretty big file, so it's gonna take a while to open. Why do I prefer that over Shift S? So the reason that I don't prefer it over Shift S, I use Shift S all the time, but the reason that I like to use that from time to time is that it gives you the BPR render, which is kind of nice. All right, so you can't see it because it's in black. Let's do this. Frame it. Over here, if you were to zoom in close, you can see that there's a lot of details on here. Like when I say a lot of details, I sculpted the stitches, you guys. Like it's crazy. It's a problem. It's a problem. But I used to be in fashion. I used to work at a young men's brand, and I learned about zigzag stitches and chain stitches and all that. So I like to incorporate that stuff. Now, will anybody see that other than me in the actual statue? Probably not. But again, I kind of have a problem with that. So yeah. But anyway, I show you all that to show you the hair, which just took a long time, right? But it was the same type of process where I use the clay buildup to get the, you know, kind of the flow of the hair. And then I went in with my dam standard and started kind of really working the individual sections. First, you know, like one big clump and then another one. And then I kind of worked in the locks as separate pieces. And thanks, Comics Legend. Hey, thanks, man. Hey, look who's here. Yeah, so yeah, it was a lot of work. But there's this head, and then I did an alternate version without hair, which is this guy here, which I kind of like the bald bishop, even though everybody loves the bishop that has the flowing locks. I mean, how can you not like that? So anyway, the detailing just takes time. I did that with Lion-O too. Lion-O, I actually did use some fur brushes. Let's see if I can pull something out here. So let's say that I got this to a point where I liked it. You know, let's jump ahead in the future. Let's solo this out. What I would probably do is, again, look at my reference really closely. I know that there's different types of fur on this guy. Like there's going to be short fur and long fur. So as soon as this auto saves, I'll show you. I have an eyebrow brush that I got from somewhere. I don't even know where. But it does the short hairs nicely. So let's go to... And then I will tell you where I got my longer fur and hair brushes, and that's Pablo Munez from ZBrush Guides has some amazing packs. Pablo's just an amazing guy overall, an artist. The knowledge he kind of drops on a daily basis is insane. Like Pablo and Mike Pavlovich are probably my biggest, learning inspirations for ZBrush Live. If you haven't kind of learned about either one of those guys, you should check them out because they're both dope. So let's see. I want people, creatures, hair, fur. All right. So what I try to stay away from is these kind of brushes. I've seen people use these. I don't like them because they're very stylized, right? I imagine that if you took your time and did it, let me take it back. I don't dislike them. They're actually kind of cool. But me being the really realist that I am, I like to use, where are they? So I have this eyelash brush. Nope. Short hair. All right, so take this. Let's turn off the color so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to need more resolution here. Let's see. Yeah, so let me save this because it's going to get big. Quick save. Actually, it doesn't have to. I'm just going to grab one of these arms and kind of split it off. Let's do that. Come on. Let's see. All right. So I'm actually going to use this arm because it's got some more muscle in it. I will clone this. Come over to the clone. I will step up to the highest sub D level. I might have enough here, actually. Yeah, you know what? I think I do. All right. So now, well, not quite. All right. So I'm going to delete lower, delete hidden. Now, divide. All right. So now I'm at 1.2 million. Probably to get it looking really kind of clean, I'd want to divide again. I have this thing about having a ton of polygons. Just this forearm now is at almost 5 million polygons. It's a lot. Bradley doesn't have a problem with that. Like he's got things that are like 60 million polys, but for whatever reason, I get nervous about that. All right, so now I have this. I'm going to come over and look at some reference. And I want to follow the flow of the muscles. I think that's kind of what's going to set it off, right? So let's kind of drag these out, and you see what's happening here? This is all really dependent on your resolution. Now, what did I do this wrong here? I'm going to tell you what I did this wrong here. I would never do it this way. And I'll tell you why not. Because what I'm doing now is I'm putting the fur down as a crosshatch against the texture that's already here. So let's undo this. Okay. What I would do is I would follow the flow of the H or the not the H polish, the clay buildup, right? And then what happens is it looks a lot more realistic. So a lot of times you'll see when I'm doing muscles, I'll kind of switch the direction of the of my H polish, and that's because if I'm going to do something like, fur, it kind of does a nice little plane change between the two forms. And if I'm doing skin pores like that bishop, it will really set it off. Like it really kind of sets off. And you see these sections, especially for something like 3D printing, you want to be able to see all this nice detail that you have, right? So like rotate around, now come over here, kind of put these in. And the thing about these great cats is that their hair, if you look at it, it doesn't all flow, like it's not all going one direction. It's kind of, sometimes it'll do like a little cowlick type, not cowlick, like your hair grows out at the center of your back of your head there. It'll do something like that and change directions. But I like this brush because it allows me to switch it up, And then when I get back here, I can start to round it off, and it really punctuates these forms. So look at how it's starting to feel, very, like you can see the muscles even when you have fur over top of it. How great is that? So I don't know if anybody's going to be doing any animals or anything, but I like doing this. It's relaxing. Right? So this is what I would do. I just go in, but it's very important to have this base underneath of the directional hatching that I have. And then I can go a different direction here. All right. So let's go this way for this one. When we do a BPR render, or even better, take it into Substance, then you get something like, where is it? This one. Do I have Lino on here? Let's see. Nope. Do I? No, it's not on here. Instagram. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Instagram. Yeah. So then you get something like this, right? Where a sculpted statue can look very realistic. I think I have one more that's closer. Yeah, here you go. So this is that brush, right? Like, it's just when you're printing, bear in mind that you're going to have to really kind of double down on the on the intensity in order to keep the details. So like when we were looking at the bishop statue, those pores are cut in deeper than normally I would do. And same for the leather texture and the sentinel hand that's all broken up. That's where you would use layers. So if I come over to layers over here, and I say, okay, now I'm detailing. I want to make a new layer, and I'm going to sculpt in my fur. Right? It's not going to remember all the fur that I had before. But there's even a way to cheat this and get it to remember the fur. I'll show you. Let's see. So let's say you've gone through the whole process and you're like, crap, I meant to turn on layers. I forgot. we can get that. All right, so I'm going to say, all right, let's say that this is my layer. And I want to 3D print this. So I know if it's printing at a size that's like this, it's not going to hold this detail. It's just not going to. So what I want to do now is I want to stop this layer from recording. So I'll turn off record, right? Now, if I turn off the eyeball, it'll undo all the work that I did. This is good too for, let's say you want to texture, but you're not completely done with, you haven't gotten approval on the way that the muscles look yet. And you don't want to, you don't want to mess that up and have to do it all over again. If I turn off the eyeball, it's all gone. It goes back and I just bring it back, turn it back on again. Now, what's awesome about this is at 100%. Let's say that I like this, but I want to do something else to it. Maybe I want to add, let's say it's like some hybrid animal person thing, and I want to add pores to him as well, but I don't want it to be like high fur with pores. That doesn't make sense. So what I can do is I can turn down this slider, and you see how it knocks it back. So this is good if you're doing, say, Wolverine's arms or, like somebody's chest hair or whatever. You just back it off and you can have it be subtle. Or you can turn it up and have what you had originally. Or, is the best part, if I duplicate this, come over here and I hit duplicate layer. There you go. This is what I did for Lionel. So now, when I give this to Sideshow, they don't have to say, oh man, these details aren't cut in deep enough. They're never going to hold when I print this out in 3D. Now they are. And if it's too much, they either turn it off or they back off of it some, turn it down. So you can do this an infinite amount of times, and it's it doesn't cost you anything, right? Like you can experiment. I do this like when I was printing my Hulk, I would, I'd print it out, see how it looks. If the details weren't good enough, I just go in and kind of double down on the layer to get, more intensity. And then I'd print it out again and it'd look fantastic. So that's a little pro tip for any 3D printers in here. And when you're done, you just turn it off. So anyway, that's the way I would do short hair. So if I wanted to do longer hair, let's say we go up his arm and I want to do longer hair. Let's see if I missed anything. Do image layer, save with your ZTL. You're probably going to want to save it as a project, Comics Legend. Probably. Mostly. Nice. Let's see. Would you ever get feedback saying we need those stitches to be deeper? Oh, okay. All right. So let me show you. This is a perfect example of that. So I can't see. Is that Hannibal? Hannibal. I think that's Hannibal. Hannibal's name is the same color as the background. ML Creative. Wait a minute. Why aren't you over here? Aren't you supposed to be in the middle of a thunderstorm right now? In the middle of a typhoon? That's Bradley, you guys. Being lazy. In the middle of a hurricane. All right, so let me show you how, if I wanted to have this entire arm as a layer, because remember, if I turn this off, I only did that section. I didn't do all this part here. But let's say I want that part. So what I'll do is I'll turn it back on again, right? So now I have everything, and I'll hit bake. All right, bake the whole thing. Now what I can do is I can smooth this out. So this is a pretty high resolution. Again, it's 4.86 million polys. So probably going to want to use, let's see, smooth, strong. Let's go back to brushes. Brushes. Smooth. Smooth stronger, probably, right? So let's smooth this out. Would have been nice to do this at a lower resolution. So sorry, so I could smooth this out easier. Because again, this is a high resolution. But the problem is, I can't, wait a minute. I can have layers. I can have subdivisions with layers. I think I can. I'm bugging. No, I shouldn't have deleted the lower layers. I think I did that so I could delete the rest of the mesh, actually. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. All right. You have no power. What are you on your phone? That's crazy. Bradley was out there putting sandbags out this morning, you guys. All right. Okay. So now we got rid of all of that detail. You know what I forgot to do? I didn't save a morph target. Let's go back. This is what happens when you have a million meetings today and then you do a stream. That's not good. All right, so fun fact, you need to store a morph target first in order to get your details back. Or at least save a history save state. So let's come over here. Right here is good. Okay. That's fine. I'm going to stop the recording. I'm going to go to my morph target and I'm going to store morph target. Okay. Now I'm going to smooth all of this out. I'll only do, because it's going to take so long, I'm just going to do one section here. Oh, I got to delete my history or my layer first. You have to bake that layer. Big it. All right. Smooth this out. All right. Correct me if I'm wrong. The layer only works at a specified subdivision. Yeah, that's true. What I would do is step down, smooth out the details, and then reapply it. So now let's just say I did the whole thing. Now it's all gone, right? Now what I can do is I can make a new layer, right? I can go back to my morph target and I can switch. Okay. So now that's all that detail is back. Imagine I did that to the entire arm. So no fur, now fur. Okay. Now we go back to layers and I stop the recording and I duplicate this layer. Duplicate the layer. Okay. And now I'm getting more like the higher fur. So that's a way that if you forget to start saving your layer, you can do it, after the fact. Really good if you're working on pores, actually. So if I'm doing something like a face, I'll do, I'll kind of start at the nose and work my way out with different pores, and I'll save those as different layers. And if I need to dig those in deeper, so like if I'm working on, this face here, and I need to really dig that detail in deeper. Like it looks crazy here, right? The print looks great, but here it looks really, really like sandy. And it's because those pores are dug in so deep. But you need to do that if you're going to do 3D printing. All right, 8:49. So got about another 10 minutes. Let's see if I missed anything. My name is purple on a purple background. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to see, Hannibal. All right, let's see. Ecuador. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, I already answered that. Comics Legend. You could probably save history and then project the history on the brush on a layer. Yes, you can do it that way too. Do that too. So, the thing I love about ZBrush, one of the things I really love about ZBrush, is that there's no wrong way to do any of this. So, if you're new to it, don't ever feel like you're doing it wrong because somebody's doing it a different way. And maybe a more efficient way. You know, Bradley does stuff more efficiently than me all the time. I'm still better looking than him. So 6 on one hand, half a dozen on the other. What are you going to do? All right. Let's go back over here and turn off solo. There's that. And go to tool and turn on my poly paint. All right. So probably have a little bit more time. So what I'm thinking of doing with this color here is, let's say these stripes weren't crazy and I liked them. What I would probably do at this point to make it feel like Battle Cat is now I can paint my yellow in and have like an outline, like a border. And it's easier to do it this way for me, right, than to go in and try to paint an outline around everything. That's crazy, right? Better to paint the center. So, yeah, maybe I even soften it up a bit. Like this. And then where I really want it to pop, I'll kind of just come back and hit it. So it almost has like a nice little gradation. So if you guys don't know who I am, I started off as an illustrator. I've been illustrating for probably a long time, like 30 some years. That's impossible, Mike. You look too good. Just from in gray. No, I've been painting for a really long time. So I've done stuff for like Hasbro and movies and things like that. And I have taken that 2D kind of aesthetic and brought it into my 3D work. So when it comes to substance now, or, you know, even poly painting, like I've always loved poly painting. Now that I figured out how to use substance without having a trillion terabyte file and just breaking my machine, it's really fun. I see why people like it so much. All right. So this is kind of what I was thinking about, you guys. Something like this, right? So when you look at it from far away, the yellow pops as opposed to just doing, you know, this, which looks okay, but, you know, it's just height. All right, let's see what I missed. Looks great. Mr. Thompson, I beg to differ, sir. Bradley would tell you Hannibal's way. In fact, the wrong way half of the time. I'm not touching it. Hey, man, how do you make those muscular forms so accurate and credible? A lot of reference. Where's my other reference board? I'll show you. Where's the other reference? PureRef. I must have closed it. So let's open. Bear with me a second. Bodybuilder. Here you go, bodybuilder. Here we go. So while that's opening, I'll go over to He-Man and turn off the color. Ooh-wee, I don't like that. All right, let's solo out his upper body. I mean, I could keep color on, that's fine. All right. So, you see how sketchy it is here. But yeah, no, I got a ton of reference, like all the reference. And then I have, in addition to that, I have, you know, these guys. So, oh, that's not working. It was working a minute ago. So I have, my anatomy tools guys and just reference all over the place. So that is how I do it. Full screen. And basically, it's a lot of back and forth. So I don't get married to anything on my screen until I really feel like it's got the spirit of the thing. Here, I started with this guy. Like I saw that anybody who knows this guy's name, let me know. But I was like, oh, this guy looks dope. I'm going to use him as my, like, he's the direction I want to go. And so I started to use him as the, the inspiration for this piece. He's got like giant lats, tiny waist. And then for the back, I was like, all right, let me look around and see what else I can find. Somewhere around here. Yeah. So then I just started, looking at backs. I don't think I have it on this board. It must be on. Oh, yeah. This is okay. All right. So yeah, I'm looking at these guys and I'm just sculpting this in. And again, I like to, once I have the forms pretty dialed in, I like to, let's turn off color for now. I like to use my clay buildup brush. I'll turn my Z intensity down pretty low. And then I'll just kind of, almost in a way of écorché, kind of put the fibers of the muscle in. And rather than smoothing it out, I like to kind of crosshatch with less pressure until I soften it out. And then when I smooth, I'll have my smooth turned down very low. So I'll come over here. Let's see, smooth. Yeah, I definitely don't want smooth stronger. So let's go back to the original smooth. Let's go to brushes. Let's see, brush, smooth, regular smooth. Okay. And then I will turn down my smooth intensity. I don't like it anywhere near 100. Like, not at all. I usually keep it down like around 20, 21. And then when I kind of soften it up, I still have, like, if you look at muscles, they're never perfectly round and smooth and everything. They always have a texture to them. And then, that's the fibers. And then when you put the veins on, put them on, then when you kind of sculpt the veins and then smooth them out, you get something that's very believable, which is what I like. I don't like it to look cartoony. That's just me. But yeah, just a lot of cross hatching, smoothing, and then putting on, the then adding my high frequency detail. Anyway, that's how I do that. Is this Blender? How dare you? It's Prism. These colors are terrible. I got a dark blue background and I have red on there and blue on there. My eyes aren't what they used to be, you guys. This is ZBrush. Comics Legend. When you are working in collectibles, do they already have the pose set for you to sculpt? Will they ever change the pose later in the process? So, it depends. So the Darth Maul and Ahsoka that I did for them, they gave me a great piece of concept art from the front. And then I kind of sculpted that pose where they look like they're kind of flying through the air to match that. For something like, most of the time, that's what they'll do. They'll give you a brief. It'll have concept art, and then you have something to go by. With the Bishop, that was something that I was doing on my own. And I think they liked the fact that it was pretty much already figured out. They liked the pose, they liked the different head styles and stuff. So that was one where I got to not only sculpt it, but kind of art direct it as well. That doesn't happen a lot unless you're doing like a private commission. But yeah, that's it. Hey, you guys, guess what? I don't know how to tell you this. It's almost 9 o'clock. And good news is I didn't even have to have coffee. I had an incredibly long day, and I am still awake. I think I did okay job. Um, Flex Wheeler. Oh, that guy? Is that what his name is? Hold on. Hold on a second. Hannibal knows. He knows all these guys. Let's see. Flex. No. No, it's not no Flex Wheeler. Flex Wheeler is black. This guy's a white guy. You talking about this dude over here? This guy? Or one of the million other guys on the board? Hannibal, you failed, brother. Thought you had this dude's name. I'm harsh on Hannibal because we've been friends for a long time. Let's see. Anything else? That's it. Okay. All right. We made it to the 2 hours. Thank you guys for joining me as always. If you like what you've seen here, if you feel like you've learned something from watching me, you can also watch me and support Bradley and Raul and I on my YouTube channel, which is the Stylist League. Let's put it in the chat. LUS Stylist League on YouTube, on Instagram, on ArtStation. We have a Discord channel. We have a really big community. I think we just got 2,000 people in our Discord. Hannibal, that sound right? Something like that. A lot of the guys that we're talking tonight are members of our community, and we would love to have you over there. So check out our YouTube. We got a lot of nice videos, and we're streaming next Wednesday, same time on my channel. And on that channel, I will be using the iPad to sculpt. So I hope you can join me, and everybody have a great evening or day, whatever time it is for you. I'll see you next time. All right.